Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Ahead of the forthcoming elections into the board of the Nigeria Basketball Federation, stakeholders are skeptical if an end to crises which have rocked the sport in the country is near. This is due to allegations of favoritism leveled against the Ministry of Sport. Now joining us to discuss the roots of the crisis that has plagued the Federation and if there's any hope for a rapprochement is Igoche Mark, a former board member of Nigeria Basketball Federation. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mark, and good morning.
Morning. Thank you very much.
Igoche Mark, thank you for joining us. But please, could you help us explain what this is all about? Because I recall that FIBA had intervened not once, not twice, quoting Article 9 of FIFA's general rules, saying that, look, national basketball federations should be independent. And now we're hearing that the problem in Nigeria is that the Ministry of Sports is perpetually trying to impose the leadership. What exactly is the problem? What is it that is not clear to the key stakeholders involved in this crisis?
Okay, thank you very much. There is a big problem in Nigerian basketball at the moment, especially with the forthcoming elections. There is so much playing out. The ministry, they are not being straight with the basketball stakeholders. A few people, they are using FIBA to threaten our basketball game, which is not done. You know, because for me, I want to believe that FIBA's interest should be on development of the game more than on who will become the president of Nigerian Basketball Federation. FIBA should not be trying to install an unpopular candidate for us. You know, I think we should be left by ourselves to decide who will lead the Nigerian Basketball Federation. And the ministry, to my greatest surprise and dismay, they are also not standing on their ground. Because it baffles me that the ministry, even up to now, as at 17th January thereabout, wrote a letter to Kida addressing him as the president of Nigerian Basketball Federation. This is somebody who was a president. The board was dissolved by the same ministry sometime May, June last year. He was appointed caretaker. Caretaker was also dissolved in October. So now, how do you reconcile addressing him now as a president again? Is it by appointment, or is just because they just feel that, okay, they can just give him the president of the federation to run? So the ministry, they're not standing their ground, they're not doing very well, honestly, and the stakeholders, we are not happy about that one. You know, and Kida and his cohorts, they decide to use FIBA to threaten us and say, okay, FIBA is going to ban us. Nobody, we are not scared of FIBA ban, because what we're after is basketball development, you know. And then what we're after is that, okay, let the right thing be done. One man, because you're the president today, you can't just sit down and then carry pen and paper and then go to your bedroom in the night and change the constitution, and then you send it to FIBA and you say, okay, FIBA, they have ratified the constitution. Because it baffles me that if that's how they ratify constitution, then one day somebody's going to write that if you lose a game, you'll be sentenced to firing squad, and FIBA will ratify it. Because the content of that constitution is not, that document should not govern anybody. It is it's a flawed document, you know. So it baffles me till today that they're saying that FIBA has ratified it. And even if FIBA has ratified it, the onus is still on the ministry that is the main custodian of all the sports in Nigeria. Because there are issues, there are problems. So the ministry should not say, okay, I mean, maybe they're tired with basketball and so they can go and sort themselves out, or they can go and do whatever they want to do. No, that's not how to develop a game or the game of basketball. That's not how to resolve any crisis. This election was supposed to hold in October last year. The players protested. The ministry came in to intervene and said, okay, they're going to look into it. But then I think what they have just done is just to postpone the evil day, because nothing has been done. The same thing that they complain about is the same thing that is happening. Kida now is planning to run his own election in Benin, inviting the people that he wants. In some states, he will invite directors. In some states, he will invite state chairmen. In some states, he will invite anybody that he wants to invite from that state to come and vote for him. How can such election be free and fair? Even the Congress, the so-called Congress that Kida called to even agree on the date and the venue of the election, the Congress itself is illegal, because going by its own constitution, there is no provision for a caretaker chairman to call a Congress. It is only the president of the board that can call the Congress. But when he called the Congress, he was the caretaker chairman. In that same Congress, the board members that were in the board with him, he gave them tags ex-board members, and as such, they could not speak. So how do you, it's hard to reconcile everything. And the ministry, seeing all these things that we're thinking that they're going to step in to do the right thing, to our greatest dismay and surprise, they're just so reluctant, and now probably just I think they just decided to give the whole thing to Kida to go and run, or just for him to become the president even without doing elections. Because for me, it still baffles me the idea of...
If I could come in here, Mr. Mark, what would that mean for basketball in Nigeria? Because it does appear, as you have said, that election is going to hold, even though people like yourself have said quite clearly that you'll be boycotting it. And the ministry is doing nothing to stop this situation as it unfolds. What is at stake here in terms of basketball in Nigeria?
It means basketball is going to suffer for the next 4 years. Basketball has suffered enough for the last 4 years. The players, both the male and the female, they've made their statement clearly that they're not going to play. So it means even the FIBA ban that we are scared of, the ban is inevitable. Because when we have tournaments or when we have World Cup qualifiers and the players are not there, the ban is still going to come. You know. So it means that basketball in the next 4 years, I don't think we should expect anything from basketball if we allow what is going on now to happen the way it's going.
What faction are you?
Okay, so I'm not in any fashion. I'm for basketball development. Basketball, you see, this is the problem. No, we have reduced basketball now to politics of PDP and APC, and it shouldn't be, because basketball is a sport. We shouldn't be reducing sports to fashion or politics of APC and PDP. No, that's so wrong. I think we should all our aim, or all that we should focus on, is basketball development. You know, and for me, that's where I stand. That's what I believe, and I stand with the players.
But I deliberately did ask, what faction are you? Because the fight, even from the players, have become a factional thing. And some people say it is that faction working against Kida. Now, this same faction is...
I don't believe it's a faction.
Players are saying that the sports
I believe
ministry...
that now the players, they are aware, they are awakened, and now they know what they're entitled to, and they're standing up for their rights. And for me, I support them, and I'm with them.
Okay, the players are saying that there is an attempt by the sports ministry, in fact, the sports minister, to impose a candidate as president of the NBBF. Do you have any idea who that candidate is? And what happened with the reconciliation committee that the minister set up to resolve the problem?
Okay, the players, I won't blame them, because what is happening is obvious, or it looks so clear that the ministry is either they're tired or they're taking side, or they decide to give this whole thing to Kida. Because by the communication of that January 16th or 17th, addressing Kida as the president is just like, oh, okay, they're just giving it back to him. And the players are not happy about that, and that is why they are making that, because that's what it looks like. And then going back to the committee that was set up by the minister to reconcile the basketball family, I'm surprised, but I haven't seen anybody that the committee spoke to or asked any questions. I think the committee, they spend more time trying to resolve themselves within the committee, and then little time trying to resolve the basketball family itself. Because, of course, and up to now, nobody has seen the outcome or the report of that committee. We don't even know what they've recommended. We don't know anything about the committee. Everything has been kept very quiet. And of course, this is supposed to be something that should be very open. And that is what is raising all these agitations by the players and other stakeholders.
Let's give a message now to Musa Kida. What would you say to him about the forthcoming election? What would you urge him to do?
I'll urge him to do the right thing, because moving the elections to Benin is not a popular opinion by the basketball stakeholders. If you think you've done very well and you're that popular, then bring it, because even the ministry sent out a letter saying that the election should take place or is taking place in Abuja at the stadium, Package A. Bring the election back to Abuja, and then if you think you're popular, you come and then you slug it out. If you win, you win. If you lose, then you congratulate the person who will win, and then we move on. Because at the end of the day, what we want to achieve, we want to develop basketball. We want stakeholders, people who have genuine interest for the game of basketball, to be at the helm of affairs of basketball. That is the only way that we can move this thing forward. What it's doing there is just like taking the party to your own house, to your own domain. You know, it definitely is going to favor you in an election that you're standing for. It's just like you've been an umpire in the game that you're participating. You can never lose. You'll be the one to invite everybody to come for the elections. You'll be the one to single-handedly pick the electoral committee, the appeal committee, the venue, everything. I mean, no, I think that is not going to work that way, you know, because this is democracy.
Anyway, this is democracy. Only shocking the fact that not quite long he said we shouldn't politicize sports. For now, you're saying this is democracy. I'd like to ask you, give me a backstory. When did things fall apart with Kida? Because this was not always the case. You know, he was loved. You guys all got along before now. Give me the backstory. The backstory that you've never given anybody before. What happened?
Things fell apart because initially, before Kida came in, honestly, we were expecting that he was coming to make a difference. He was coming to take Nigerian basketball to the next level. But when he came in, to our greatest surprise, everybody, all the stakeholders, for those of us that even supported him before, when he was vying for this position, we are all disappointed because he didn't take the game to the next level. Instead, he tried to kill the game of basketball. Basketball development back here in Nigeria, the grassroots here, nothing happened throughout the 4 years that he was there. And that was not the plan. I told him last time, I said, look, what you're doing, this is not the plan. We want to develop basketball. We want to take it to the next level. It's not all about having a national team that is based in the US, and then each time we're called to come and participate in any game or championship. You go and camp in the US, and then from there you move the team to the venue or to go and play, and then from there everybody find their way. No, that's not the essence. People back at home here, they have to feel the impact of the game because we have to develop them from here, you know. And he changed completely. He started doing probably maybe wrong advisors or something. I'm sure he surrounded himself with people that didn't mean well for him and for Nigerian basketball. And those are the people that he was taking advices from and then listening to them. And that affected everything that we had before he came on, we had planned before he came on board. And that is the reason why everybody now, they are moving against him. I can tell you that he's just standing all alone with one or two stakeholders who are with him because of what they are benefiting from him, not because of the interest of the game.
Has there been any attempt to reach out to the aggrieved members of the Basketball Federation, and also particularly to the players, or the ministry is just indifferent? Let them make noise. When they are tired, they will stop making noise. What has been the response?
I think you're right. I think that's what the ministry, probably that's what they're trying to do. They should make noise. When they're tired, they will stop. I don't think that is very good. That's not very good for basketball in Nigeria. That's not very good for the players. As you can see, most of the players, all they do is basketball. So for somebody whose livelihood, everything depends on something, then you're trying to deprive him and take that away from him. He's not going to like it. You know, now we have so many of our basketball players, very good ones now, who are looking for other maniac jobs to do. Why? Because basketball can no longer cater for them. In fact, the game is not even there anymore. You know, so now they're trying to look for other things to do. And You see, I can also tell you, this Kida is not somebody that, that you can talk to or think that you can. The ministry wrote to him, he wrote back a response to the ministry saying that the minister cannot tell him where to hold his election. He feels that he's above everybody else.
Okay, thank you very much, Igoche Mark. I hope the matter will be resolved eventually in the best interest of the development of the game, as you pointed out initially. Thank you very much indeed.